I am the Beyander, I am the will of the Almighty Creator Himself, I am an angel of the Lord our God. My eyes glowed and I revealed my true Beyander form, white leather suit, and Alta Xena. My entire being was glowing with ultra instinct power. This is my true form, Xena. I said, try to sense my God key with the power I gave you, Xena. Concentrate, I said to her as I tried my best to teach her how to use her powers. I said, calm your mind, Xena, and try to focus on my energy and try to measure it in your mind if you can. Xena's eyes widened and she said, you are so strong. Her voice shook along with her body, and I felt nostalgia in thinking about all of the Dragon Ball characters that I knew about in my previous life. She said, I can't measure your powers, it has no limits, your powers are far greater than mine, she said. I smiled as I closed my eyes and she asked me, why are you smiling, are you laughing at me, she said, and then I said, no, I'm not silly, I was just thinking about something pleasant. She said, okay, I'm sorry. I said, it's fine, Xena, and then I said, you need to train to master your powers, Xena, only then can you get stronger. I explained that she could train with me and I could teach every fighting technique she would learn in the future. I know every form of martial arts and I can teach you everything I know, Xena, and more, because I love you. In that moment Xena ran to me and kissed me and I could hear her thoughts and I knew she wanted to make love to me again, and I said, we need to get out of this room, Xena. I can make love to you later, but I want to start traveling with you on your adventures a little bit. And then Xena sulked a bit and then I said, we can make love anytime during our travels, Xena, and then she perked up and got happy again right after I said that. And then I realized how strange it was to see this woman like this. I thought about my previous life and watching Xena the warrior princess on TV, and I remembered only with people she loved she was like this. And then I embraced her in a hug and I kissed her and said, let's get ready for some wild adventures, my love. We dressed each other. I decided to make myself the Witcher suit that Geralt wore in the Witcher TV series. Xena couldn't help but let her touch linger in some areas of my muscular body. She said, you really are perfect, concentrate, I said. Then she finished helping me with my clothes and then I helped her put on that iconic Xena suit from the Xena TV series one loved so much, her classic Greek Amazon armor. I couldn't help but compliment Xena on the design of her suit as I said, I love your suit, Xena, you look so beautiful and sexy in your suit and it has a very sleek design. Is it a bit Roman, I asked, or is it Greek, I said. She said, I am not entirely sure but I guess it's both, she said. And then Xena commented on my suit. She said, I like your tight leather suit, as well as she glanced down at my crotch to see the bulge of my impressive member. She raised an eyebrow and bit her bottom lip. You look very handsome in your suit, she said as she licked her lips sensually. She couldn't help but kiss me and then I said, we can't right now please, Xena, let's just go, Xena replied with a bit of frustration. Okay fine, as long as we get to do it on the road somewhere. I chuckled a bit when she had her back turned. I saw her butt and I said, I am not the only one that looks good in my suit. I smiled as she glanced behind her a bit and she smirked and said, so you like what you see back there? And then I grabbed her beautiful butt and said, yes, I definitely do, and we will make love very soon somewhere on the road and in a nice bed. Xena grabbed my member where my bulge is in my pants. I instantly got aroused. She said, let's go. Then I said, okay, could you let go of my penis please? She let go quickly and then we started our journey and she asked me while we were walking and talking, what's heaven like? And then I began to explain to her about heaven. I said, during my time in heaven I spent 1 billion Earth years there and I learned that heaven is a divine planet with immortal plant life, and the animals there are like the ones you hear about in fairy tales, and whatever you want and whatever you desire there it becomes a reality. And there's even a place with a giant tree with beautiful waterfalls and streams, and that place is called the Garden of Eden, Xena. It's a place of divine cosmic beauty, Xena replied and said, it sounds amazing, it's like a beautiful miracle. And then I replied, that's one way to describe it, I said. Xena replied, can we visit heaven one day? And then I said, we can, and God probably wants to meet you, I'm sure, since you are my soulmate, Xena. She then asked, so you said your abilities can do anything, does that mean you can create anything, even a large camping tent and furniture? Can you create food? I deadpanned when she asked me that and I said, I can create anything, Xena, and yes, I can create food. She said, really? I don't have to hunt anymore? And then I said, well, it's kinda good to hunt, Xena, don't be lazy.